Hi everyone, I'm Stephen Downing, the Associate Dean for Research at the Graduate School of Library and Information Science, Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. We're at the other end of Main Street. And I'm here to talk about the HathiTrust Research Center. Where's the microphone? Okay, so I'm here to talk about the HathiTrust Research Center, which is an exciting new project that's a collaboration between us and Indiana University. People here are familiar with the HathiTrust at all? Right? No? Okay. So anyway, so here's some interesting URLs for you to play with. While I'm talking, you can go to the HathiTrust proper and explore there. We have a HathiTrust Research Center sandbox where you can start to see some of our tools in action. I realize that URL is a bit long. And if you're really bored, you can play asteroids against any website. I really like this tool. It's quite fun. Okay, the HathiTrust itself is actually a partnership. It's a partnership of over 90 universities and their collections of information. And note that there's some really big players in there, predominantly American right now. I'm really not supposed to say this, but the impetus for the HathiTrust is the Google Books project. That's our nucleus of information. And then now the partner libraries are contributing on their own. So here's some wow numbers to keep all the brown dogs happy. There are 11,379,958 total volumes in the collection. Volumes do not always equal books because there are 5 million book titles, but there's also almost 300,000 serial titles, so many, many journal runs in there. Here's my favorite number, 3.982 billion pages. It will break 4 billion pages this year. 510 terabytes of data. 135 miles, linear miles of books, so basically here to Chicago. I don't know how they weigh it, but someone weighed it. This is very important. We'll come back to this. 3.9 million volumes, about 35% of them are in the public domain, which means the rest are not. So, and that's important. So one thing that always I want to stress, especially in the science crowd, this is a photocopy of the leading research libraries in the United States, primarily University of Michigan and University of California, which means if it was in a book or in a journal, it's in here. So take a look at the nice distribution of the topics. It's not just history and English and so on. There's a ton of science in here. The #1 language in the collection is only plurality. It's 48%. #2 language is German at 9%. 7% French, 7% Spanish, and so on. Anyone want to tell me right now why German might be the number one foreign language in the collection? Quickly? Science, right? The history of science, essentially science, it was the language of science until the Second World War. So, scans. Each object in the digital library has a scan for each page. There's one right there. For each page, we have OCR given to us. Note how messy it is. It's really kind of medium quality, huge problem across the entire collection. For each one of these, we also have coordinated OCR, which means for every object, we can see where it was located in Cartesian space. For each object, each volume, we then are brought together by a METS file. So we have a combination now of structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data in our collection. So content distribution, so 35% in the, I can do this. Okay, here we go. Public domain, 35%, which most people can have access to. 65%, no one can get access to because it is under copyright, right? So to solve this problem, we developed a non-consumptive research model, which basically means that we bring the computation to the data. Using tools, mallet, all the, I really like Dr. Black's presentation because there's a great overlap now in some of our visions going on. And so yeah, we bring the computation to the data. So one thing is we have our sandbox. We also do feature extraction. And right now, if you want to play, you can go to our sandbox and get some features to play with. We have the documentation and the different features that are typically useful. We're presenting it in JSON format right now. And there's 67 million pages, 250,000 volumes. And this is open data, so you can take it. It's not copyrighted. You can have fun. You can learn more about it. I invite you to take a look at that. The other thing that we're doing is new, novel ways to get access into the data. It's really hard to find something that exists in 3.9 billion pages, but people want to do analyses. So one of the tools we're partnering with is Bookworm. It's like the Google Ngram Viewer, only open source. Select on something and one of the points, and then you get the actual access to the volumes that contain those terms. So we're going to end on some good news. So 2 days ago, on July 21st, from the National Endowment, we had submitted a billions and billions of words in the HathiTrust corpus. And it's basically to develop that bookworm some more, to make it useful so people can get access to even the non-open data. And we were funded yesterday, or 2 days ago. Thank you. And that's it. I'm done. So, cheers.